Hello and welcome to the Banter Blitz show. I hope you're all doing right for the Friday evening Banter Blitz session. Please give me feedback on the technical side of things. I have changed my setup a little bit, hoping to make it a bit easier for me to play actually. I changed the board and screen setup a little bit. But I hope the streaming itself is and stays fine. All right, I'm playing against Dangerous Right here with black. Do we get some kind of close Sicilian, I guess? So let's go e5. Is it still okay if I do this? Yeah, it seems to be. I've made the board a little bit larger because I have problems sometimes seeing the board correctly. I think I make so many funky blunders on those streams. I felt maybe the board setup can be improved, so that's what I tried. But whole technical setup is a bit different now. So okay, goes bishop h6. Okay, I go f4 and force the trade. Now, this position looks generally speaking quite good. The question is if d4 is a good option for white. I will probably capture this pawn then and play bishop g4. Yeah, this was my idea. I don't know if it's good, but we'll see. I'll take, and now bishop g4, intending to take the knight. Yeah, now this is a case where this could happen. Takes on f3, takes on c6, takes on g2. Yeah, it should be good for me. Yeah? So he has to do it like that. And now I get the really outstanding square on d4. The question here is f3 a move or not? I mean, it certainly is, but is it a good move? I also have queen to d7. Strengthening this idea. Before, after f3, there was bishop h3, which is now prevented. Now f3 is a huge threat. It would force back the bishop to h1, and then I even have knight e2 winning the house. So, not a comfortable situation here for Dangerous Right. Let's see what he does. f3 is, yeah, not the move you love to play for sure. It's pretty passive. Now, I'm just going to double right here on the c file. There is no knight e2 to challenge my knight because of rook c2. Yeah, that looks good. I got my time to relax mug. Didn't really pick that consciously. Didn't want to make a mug statement. Yeah, hello to all of you in the chat. Some of the, you could call it usual suspects around. Why is that a move? Rook c2. Is he going to play knight takes d4? But that's not working. Yeah? It's a bit strange. It's not exactly difficult. White's position was difficult to play, but spotting rook c2 was not. Yeah, now he loses the knight on e2 for no particular compensation. I have a question for the chat. I mean, I'm monitoring all chats, so all of you might answer, and I will pick up possible suggestions that you may have as a response to my question. The question is, what is the most illogical and stupid format decision that you've ever seen in chess? Like, what time control is used, what tiebreaker is used, and things like that. What is the most awful one that you can remember offhand? I'm looking for suggestions. Okay, so this is interesting. The knight wants to move away, but I think I can take first here, yeah? There's no check, so... And now... There's a suggestion saying adjournments back in the day. Yeah, it's not the most obvious thing to do, maybe with a modern eye, let's say. And now I'm mating on h2. There's no way out there. I already had rook d1 check with a forced mate, but there's no way to stop this as well. Yeah, thanks for the game. Dangerous ride. The St. Louis Clutch Chess was a very artificial and unnatural format. Yeah, I agree to some extent. I also found that a little bit odd. Yeah, but I think it was interesting to try out, and it's ultimately not a super important event, that Clutch Chess. I mean, it's a private tournament, so to say, so nobody is kind of forced to play there. It's not something like that is not really a big issue. I think if somebody says, okay, I'll put up the money, you play for your money, you play in that format, right? But my statement is, and I think this is really tough to change, what I find completely horrible, and this is something that came to my attention only yesterday, is the tie-breaking format now for the knockout stage of the online chess Olympiad. That is the most idiotic thing ever. Yeah, I mean, who on earth came up with that? If you're not aware what the format is, I'm explaining it to you. They play in that knockout format of the Chess Olympiad currently online. They play on 6 boards, and it's like 2 open boards. You can choose whatever you want. I think 2 women boards or 2 junior boards. It's kind of, it has those categories, and this is important for something later. So they have 6 boards, and they play 2 matches. And the funny thing is, if one side wins a match, let's say 6-0, and then the other side wins the other match 3.5, so you could think the side who won more points, 6 points to 3.5, would advance. That is not the case. Whenever this is tied, it doesn't matter how large, how substantial the victory was, they will play a tiebreaker, and that is a single Armageddon game, a single Armageddon Blitz game, played by one of the players that is chosen at random. So it could be, in theory, there's also a board for junior, for girls. So there could be 2 15-year-old girls battling out the Chess Olympiad in an Armageddon game, while at the same time there is like Grishuk and Anand watching. Yeah, so this is the worst thing that I've ever seen. I mean, how much of a clown do you have to be to come up with that format? I mean, you must be completely idiotic. I mean, how on earth can you come up with that? I understand that you can always discuss about formats, but why choose something that is totally idiotic? Like, out of 100 suggestions, that's not something that I would ever come up with. It makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. Yeah, and we had those Armageddon deciders already, a couple of them. The German team went down to Hungary in that Armageddon format, and today there was an Armageddon decider between Poland and Azerbaijan, which Poland won. Germany lost to Hungary by 0.3 seconds at the end. On time, 0.3 seconds, which is very random, right? I mean, I don't understand this. Like, you have a team competition in rapid chess, and then you do a decider in an Armageddon Blitz. Okay, but why just one board? Why? You could easily, I mean, if you do 5 boards or whatever, I mean, everything is better than that. Thanks for the game, Gusbox. Sorry, I didn't talk about the game at all, because when I saw this rule, it was like, what? I mean, you kind of expect that official bodies like FIDE, that they decide to do nonsense. This is what they do for ages. But this is so terrible. It makes no sense. I mean, no sense at all. Yeah, why not decide it with a dancing competition? That could have been fun, actually. But I don't know. I just feel that it's, I mean, I have no idea who comes up with that. Okay, there's a question on the YouTube chat if I have any Polish connections. Yes, the name definitely sounds like that. But I have no real connections. Like, I'm not aware of relatives or anything like that. I also don't speak any Polish. But my ancestors back in the 19th century, they originally came from an area that is nowadays Polish, but I've never explored that in any detail, where they actually come from and so on. Now, my bad bishop is traded, and I got the knight to f4. Let's talk about this game a little bit. And I can get the other knight to g5. It looks like tricky knights. Yeah, okay, maybe h4, but I can just return then. It's not a big thing. I wonder. Yeah, I think I should just go. Oops, got a fly in the office. I should just go back. But on the other hand, if I take on e4 with the knight, queen takes, bishop f5, queen f5, queen h4, check, king g1. It's close. It's close. I can also... He wants to play g3. There is no good tactic, though. That wasn't ideal. Yes, I showed a book about Karpov in one of my recent Banter Blitzes, and yeah, definitely, I always liked Karpov's play. It had, in particular, when I was a junior player, it always had a certain ring of logic to it. In some way, it's tough to understand, actually. Karpov is much more difficult to kind of grasp what he's doing compared to Kasparov. Kasparov is a fairly simple to understand player. It's just obviously very difficult to to do something like that, what he's doing, but it's not difficult to understand what he's doing, like conceptually. always striving for active play and things like that. But with Karpov, it's this very difficult to grasp, a mix of active moves, prophylactics, kind of cat and mouse play. It's very difficult sometimes to understand what exactly is going on. Okay, I'm just pushing this. And he has to take, I guess. I want to open up a file and I have to speed up. This is 43 seconds. I played mostly increment blitz. Oh, wow, really? This is just killing, right? Or f4? What is better? f4, yeah. Both moves seem to win. I played a lot of increment blitz yesterday and today, and I have to get back into this, yeah, no increment mood. So check and a check and a rook to g6. Yeah, that's a pre-move, right? Rook g6. You can safely pre-move. Not against this. Did I miss a win? Maybe. This is not bad though. Maybe I shouldn't have traded queens. But I can make moves quickly here. He has very little that he can do. It's Zugzwang already. Yeah, I mean, the endgame was a bit risky. I had knight h3. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, sorry. And now I spotted. I had knight h3, right? Where was that? Yeah, here, knight h3. Yeah, I was just thinking rook f6, g6 would kill anyway. I wanted to go for mate, but this is, of course, winning the queen. Thanks for the game, Colvin16. Yeah, with the larger board, I can actually read the names. It's kind of nice. I have enlarged the board. I think that helps me a little bit. All right, Carlos K is, what is that flag? Interesting. Kenya, okay. That's still a little bit on the small side. I probably would have recognized it, yeah, in a larger form. All right, Carlos is not playing though, so giving another guy a chance. Wait, Helmut Reitz. Helmut Reitz. e4. Can we pre-move knight c3? Okay, so we get a Philidor's defense. Oh, interesting. I can probably take, yeah. That's a little bit like in the opera game. But now I don't have this, like Morphy had queen to b3. But I can simply develop here quickly. Yeah, Samuel, you can challenge me. I'm happy to play you. You're new, so just put out a challenge and then I will gladly play a game. Queen g3 maybe, attacking g7. Okay, bishop h6, there's knight h5. It still should be a good move. Knight h5 is kind of only move. I could have taken e5, of course. But I want to exert some more pressure. After knight h5, queen g4, the knight is hanging. It looks very difficult for black. Yeah, Carlos, just challenge me again. I will accept that challenge. I mean, it can happen if you're just not at the board at this precise moment when I'm clicking. Okay, now do I just castle? I think I just castle. And now rook d7. It was an option actually. The move before. Okay, I didn't really look that closely. The position is quite clearly winning. No, Martin, it's not about asking. This guy is new on the website. He has 0 games against me, and I always play against the 0 guys. We can also play, that's not an issue at all. It's just like if somebody is just totally new and has never played in one of my shows, I will usually take this challenge. They are not, it's not an extremely long list, so we'll all get games in. So here we go. Hey, we can easily get the games in by the newbies and also the ones that only have like 1 or 2 games. Should drink this faster. Okay, this is the Blumenfeld Gambit. That is a quite interesting opening. It's not super correct. There are 1 or 2 lines that white can play. This is not one of the refutations. Or there's no refutation, but I think you can take here actually. For queen f6. I've looked at this ages ago. Now the rook cannot be saved, if I'm not mistaken. Ah, okay. This is a way to indeed save it. But I have, of course, some good options. Pawn takes or queen takes. I think I'll take with the pawn, yeah. Still keep this option of the check, for example. So I'm going to check. Knight d2, only move. Now bishop b7, yeah, get things developed. Okay, wait. If I take e3, my queen is lost. No, not so good. And they cannot sacrifice it, right? I mean, that is almost enough, the queen sack, but it's certainly not the best way to play. How do we do this? I can take on d5. I have also e5. Yeah, the queen sack is kind of tempting, but it's definitely not the best choice. It is very tempting, though. Ah, come on. I mean, this is not really the best move, you know, my queen sacrifice, but I'm always tempted by stuff like that. Now king e2 has to be played. Now I take here. And I have 2 minor pieces and 2 pawns, right? This is quite a good chunk of material, and I have excellent pieces. Yeah, the pieces are really strong. And the pawn on d2, of course, is a huge factor. So knight c6, threatening knight d4. Botez Gambit accepted. Yeah, it's not a true Botez Gambit because I actually sacrificed this on purpose. And Alex usually doesn't do that. So let's do this. And queen c7, I'm going to castle. Oh, I didn't see that move coming. So bishop c5. These bishops are really nice. I'm threatening a million discoveries now. Yeah, so I can check here. Or I can check with rook g8. Or bishop d6, but then you can go back. It's still not apparent how I'm going to crash through here. I mean, it looks strong, but as I said, it's not objectively the best continuation. I see some ideas, of course. Okay, let's check first. So he's going to take the pawn next, yeah? How do we go there? Or, yeah, bishop e3 looks really odd. I have some attacking ideas, but they are really slow. This is what I don't like about them. The bishop is coming to d3. That's not so easy. Okay, I have to speed up. Okay. Now f3 is under heavy pressure. Now I could take e2, but that's not really a very tempting prospect. I can also check king f2 and take. Everything looks good. That's one issue here. Okay, just get more pieces into the game. Threatening knight f5, basically mate. Okay, he freed up h2, so f5. It's a bit of a gamble, the whole thing here, and I only have 2 minutes. Yeah, this should win though. King f4, bishop d6 mate. Mate! Yeah, I don't know. The queen sack was certainly a bit on the dicey side. Certainly I had some simpler options, but it looked really interesting. Yeah, hello to the chat on the various platforms. Hello to Pandora's Box. And thanks for the game, Martin. Now, so who is challenging me? I want to check the new guys. Played him, the nickname master I've also played. Samuel I've never played, so let's do it. And let's go e4. So the King's Gambit, one of the rarer guests in my shows. But not because of this way of playing. This looks fantastic for me. Can I already storm black's position here with knight g5? 3 or 5 minutes is fine. Aha, so this one, interesting. That's the best defense. I hope for castling. And then queen h5. Interesting. Huh. Okay, I have to take, I guess. And now, all kinds of stuff is hanging here. Knight f7, there's also queen e7 check. What the heck? So, wow, that's tricky. Castling maybe. The King's Gambit is not exactly my usual brand of chess. So queen h5 maybe. Knight f6, however, can come. And knight f4 is a threat. This is really a problem. d4 is also constantly attacked. Okay, I'm just going to take here. Okay, check. I get d5. So take here. Unrated? No. Is that unrated? I don't mind. I mean, usually the challenges are rated, but if you would like to play unrated, it's not a huge concern. Okay, so there are tons of discoveries here with the knight. I probably have to remove the king, yeah? I know that c2 is hanging, but okay, it's the King's Gambit. We don't care about this. How do we continue to attack? Bishop h6. I'm really not. I have no clue what's going on. I know what I'm threatening. I'm threatening queen g6 here. Queen g6 as the f-pawn is pinned and then mate on g7. I'm also threatening to take f7. Eastwood says bishop e4. That is much too simple. That was, of course, a good move. Ooh. Still time to relax. I'm only down some material. Yeah, f5, but yeah, I take the knight. Yeah, so it was possible. Okay, this one. That's a remarkably simple way to go about it, but maybe a good way. Now, okay, I take here. I'm actually more of a strategic player. This game is not quite typical of my play. Anyway, what am I doing now? Bishop e4 is an option. It is an option if he takes on. Yeah, come on, let's do it. If he takes on a1, I have bishop takes g7 or bishop h7. Banter Blitz says looks like one of his games. I don't know. I don't know your games, but I know this is a bit of a chaos. Yeah, g6 is the kind of thing that I just have to take, yeah? Take it. Nah, I don't think that this can be defended. That would be really surprising. I'm on this king with all those pieces. Takes on g6, queen takes g6, and mate on g7. And I'm threatening too much here, I believe. Queen d5. Yeah, but I think I can play bishop g5 at least. Okay, so here, do I have something substantially better than taking? Probably not. Bishop g5. Yeah, it's not necessarily better. He has no good way of taking, simply because this is just... Wait, I have queen h8 as well. This is just crashing through. Totally crashing through. I'm not even material down, so... Yeah, bishop d3, yeah? Wait. Wait. Bishop d3, bishop f2 is still... Yeah, I mean, I'm up everything, yeah, so let's do this. Take this one. I have 20 seconds, though. This is a bit of a problem. Knight d5 and knight e4 now on the cards. Still have to watch out. Yeah, there could be some Anastasias made. Yeah, sacrifice on h2 and a check on the h file. That could be devastating. I have to be fast. Woo! That was still tough at the end. Thanks for the game, Samuel T. I have no clue what was going on in this game. Probably a couple of funky mistakes, but that's a King's Gambit. Now, challenged by Dr. Witt. There are a couple of new guys here. That's cool. I'm going to play all those new people. Dr. Witt. So, Dirty Harry incoming. This is not a troll move, similar to my Dirty Harry Sicilian course. This h5 has been played by some strong players. It's really possible. It's one of those things that recent years have told us, that h pawn pushes whenever the other guy has fianchettoed is is interesting and should be considered. Sometimes it's a bit too much, but sometimes it's absolutely possible. And here h5 is okay, and white is already, it seems, slightly irritated. So get the bishop out. And d6 next. Just develop. I mean, whatever you do when you try to utilize your h-pawn, it's tough to play chess without developing pieces, and this is certainly such a case. I want to develop pieces as well. Yeah, he's taking a bit of time. He should play a little bit faster. It's really, it's a little bit too slow in my mind. Yeah, we have someone in the chat actually called Eastwood. That's fun. With me having released the Dirty Harry course. Yeah, Clint Eastwood is the second, let's say, classic movie star that turned 90 this year. The other one is, of course, Sean Connery, who turned 90 a couple of days ago. Not a couple, right? Maybe a week ago or so. And Clint Eastwood turned 90, I think, May 30th or something like that. I'm pretty good with dates and years. I think it's May 30, 1930, his date of birth. So I'm just trying to get some attack going, and I wonder if this is good, actually. To be honest, I had an idea, but it's not quite working. I wanted to play e4, knight takes bishop f5, but that doesn't work. He has a3 coming. That's a bit of a shame. So let's stop b4. So let's go back. Now you have to speed up now. Let's get rid of the bishop. Sir in Croatian means cheese. Really? I mean, okay, I've been to Slovenia like 12 times or so, and the language is kind of similar to Croatian, and I'm not quite sure that I saw sir for cheese, or S-I-R. I don't really remember what is on there. Usually it's just like Gouda, and then you know it's cheese, but I didn't pay attention. Sir gleich cheese in Croatian. Interesting. I have to check what it is in Slovenian. The languages are not, they are related, but they are not, sorry, They're related, but they're not identical. Sorry. Yeah, usually people from Slovenia, they understand the other languages. It's just like Serbian has the Cyrillic alphabet. But they're fairly similar. People usually understand one another. Yeah, White is losing on time in this game. He didn't play that badly at all, but it is just far too slow. Picking up d5 now, and I will win on time. Yeah, thanks for the game, Dr. Witt 147 from Poland, I guess, right? Yeah, congrats to advancing today in the Olympiad. Okay, let me check who else is challenging me, if there's somebody new. I have Philip, right? He's in the chat, so I saw that he's around. Philip PRTS. Going d4 and maybe for a Banter Gambit, no. So e6. It's a bit of an odd discussion in the chat. Tal was a really good technical player. Tal was not a bad endgame player at all. But he certainly, I mean, he developed. He got a far stronger and more rounded player in his later years. Like in the 50s, when he was very young on the way to the World Championship title, he was, of course, like a really wild tactical player. But he got stronger, actually, when he was older, like in the 70s. And he was absolutely a good strategic player. And also, he was, for example, playing very well all those c4, knight f3 style openings, openings that you associate more with a strategist. Okay. Now, threatening Queen h2 mate. There's a question by Crumnick's student if the Armenia withdrawal has been discussed. Not yet. And I feel it's actually not so easy to discuss because I don't quite know exactly what was going on. This is a really like a technical question. And maybe people don't even know what I'm talking about or what Crumnick's student is talking about. Today there was a match between India and Armenia, and as mentioned before, there are two legs in those matches, like two turns. And in the first match, there was one game in which the Indian player, Nihal Zareen, won on time or by disconnection, whatever, due to a technical problem in this position, and that led to a 3.5 win for India in that first match. The Armenian team did not accept this result, and they issued a protest, but that was not approved. And after some back and forth, they ultimately decided, whoa, really? I was threatening this, winning the queen. They withdrew and didn't even play the second match. That's going to end in a very bloody fashion here. And the point of thanks for the game, first of all, Philip PRTS. The point of that protest actually was, let me check if there's somebody new. Yeah, tasty strawberry. The point of that protest was that the Armenian team said that they did not lose internet connection, but rather somehow chess.com was not responding, or they basically said on their end everything was fine as the internet connection was stable. The other games could have been played or were played and so on. And therefore they cannot lose like by this technical thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's very tough to say what exactly happened technically. And I also don't know what simply what there is in the rules. I have no idea if this is somehow in the rules. No clue. Yeah, so like what happens if there is a server problem? There can be a problem with the server. So I have really no idea what was going on. I'm not really sure if it is a good way to handle it by withdrawing, because they could have played the second leg and maybe won. I mean, no? I mean now they're out, so it's not something that will be very helpful, let's say, for their fans. But I don't really feel I'm in a position to criticize. In particular, I look at the chat. I look at the chat. If there's something substantial to say, I'll do it. So I mean, it's really tough to say if you don't know the details and what was said and so on. Oftentimes in discussions and appeals like that, it is not just about the issue, but also things that are around that. So I have no idea what happened. Oops. Yeah, I look at the chats, but it's like, yeah, it's tough to answer everything at once. So, okay, here we have a Petrosian variation of the King's Indian, a line that I have played quite a bit. I have not castled. This is an interesting and important point, and therefore I can play h4 now. Bruno asks if I have a YouTube channel. I do. My YouTube channel was founded on July 7th, 2011, and at the time was one of the largest chess channels, but I have focused on other things since then, and nowadays it's not so busy, even though I've started to make some new videos a couple of days ago, some more entertainment focused stuff, blitz videos, things like that. What am I working on these days? Working on various Chessable titles, of course. Yeah, my old videos from 2011 are kind of different to videos nowadays. They were without webcam. I only had a microphone at the time. And I was still smoking in 2011. That was really awful. So you hear me puffing away all the time nervously during the games because, I mean, yeah, it's a stressful game that we play. Now, I want to win the g4 pawn. So let me take. Now I want to get her onto g4. Yeah, I actually think I have some pretty reasonable educational content on my channel. Some older videos, for example, are pretty good, I think. Yeah, I quit smoking in 2012. Late 2011, early 2012. Okay, well played now here by Marnell. How do we do this? He's got f5 coming. This is very slow what I'm doing. Yeah, I always feel people should decide themselves what they do. Like, you can, if you're an adult, you have your own choices, but please don't smoke. It's so terrible. So that is something that I'm happy to say on stream. It just makes zero sense, and is yeah, it's just completely terrible. Okay, so I can take g4 now. Can also take and then castle. Oh, there's somebody who said that. Somebody is smoking cigars. Funny. I did smoke cigars as well back in the day. It's also something really to be avoided. Yeah, thanks for the game, Manuel Paiva. He was very slow. He did play well, but it was just very slow. All right, who else is challenging me? Eastwood, I have played. Serge, I never played. So there are still a couple of new players. So let's see. I'm playing c4. I wonder here, he says Russian Federation. What is that? You probably see the this one here, the C. Is that something that I should know? Probably not. Okay. I'm going to stop that. Can always challenge me again. Nicotic, it's also a new player. So let's go d4. Let me. Bruno is asking if I know. Yeah, I think you probably refer to Vincent Keimer, right? The German junior player. I do know him. Yeah, I mean, know is always a little bit difficult to say. I mean, I don't know, whatever his taste of music or so. I know him from working with him for 2 days when we did, what was that? German Youth Championships last year, I think, 2019. Oh, this is a wrong move order. Nicotic. We did 2 rounds of, oops, I shouldn't pre-move that. We did 2 rounds of commentary together. That was very nice for the German Youth Championships. Yeah, he's excellent at commentating. You also, the only thing that you have to do if you are the host, I'm the host for the show, and like in that case, Vincent was the analyst. You always have to slow him down because he's so fast with seeing all the tactics, and he's just too fast for a regular audience. Too fast for me, actually. I had to always like really be very alert to follow his train of thought. Okay, I'm going to take. It was a really nice job doing the commentary for the German youth. Done that now for a couple of years, and yeah. There's a fun remark in the chat here. It said, "Good shelves from Dänisches Bettenlager." You know how these shelves are called, right? You know what program that is? The name of the shelves. They have a. You don't know how the name is? Magnus. For real. It's not a joke. Those shelves are the Magnus shelves from Dänisches Bettenlager. Danish. The Danish IKEA alternative, let's say. yeah. I mean, I didn't get them because of the Magnus name. It was just like a fun thing. Yeah. The bad stock. Yeah, that would be the Danish bad stock would be the one-to-one translation. They have weird names anyway, really. What I also find now pretty odd, I have something from this place, Dänisches Bettenlager, that is called Royal Oak. The Royal Oak, whatever, yeah, Royal Oak desk or so. And this is odd because Royal Oak is one of the most famous watches from Audemars Piguet, a Swiss watch brand. And I wonder why they could actually use the same name. Yeah, the Royal Oak, the classic watch. There's actually a Royal Oak Kasparov. Kasparov owns a Royal Oak given to him by that watch company. And that's really the name of the watch, the Royal Oak Kasparov. I looked at that and felt that would be cool to have. The drawback is it's 20,000 euros. So that's slightly out of my budget. All right, I'm an exchange up the whole time, but Nicotic is hanging on here. Yeah, it's 20,000. It's probably That watch is probably relatively steady value, so you're not losing any money if you would get that. But yeah, of course, Rafael Nadal has a $1 million watch, but no. No Richard Mill, please. Anyway, we are going far away. And it also doesn't have to pay for it, right? So Maccabee is challenging me. Yeah, Banter Blitz is putting a link in with the Royal Oak Kasparov, yeah. And he wears that, actually. I've seen pictures of him wearing it. So we get, oh, I have to think about this. F3, right? Is the right move order. This is 3 minute. I'm just taking 5 and 3 minute challenges. Yeah, that was mistimed. E6, now I'm attacking D6. Oh, favorite cuisine. Wow, difficult word. For me at least. I love actually all kinds of Mediterranean food. So Italian, Spanish, Greek. I know it's a wide range, but really like that. Maybe this one for knight d6 check. 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 B4. B4. Okay, now we can check here, check again, and take the queen, but maybe there's a mate also. No, Maccabee resigns. Thanks for the game, Maccabee. Now, the Dim Knight, I've played him. And wow, there's so many new players. And Cladis, something like that. From Scotland, is that right? From Scotland. So it's Sir Sean Connery's birthday just a couple of days prior. I'm playing somebody from Scotland. Can you play stronger opponents? I definitely can. I'm able. But the thing is, I want to really give new players a chance. There are so many new players on the platform, and I think it's good to have this opportunity. I try to mix it, but I understand what you're saying. I was more playing new opponents and lower rated ones in comparison. What am I going to go here? A4 maybe. Try something less common against the Najdorf. That's more of a positional line. Trying to play for the d5 square. Oh, Moonspell is getting up some real watch talk. Okay. This is of course really a little bit off topic. Moonspell is mentioning Glashütte watches from Germany. I have one actually. I have a Nomos. So just for those who know about watches, so I have an idea what I have. I have no Lange & Söhne. No, this is my dream watch, or Grail watch as they say. Lange & Söhne Datograph oder Datograph. But those are roughly 50,000 euros, so that's never going to happen. So let's see what happens. I think black is kind of okay here actually. I don't see much active that I can do here. He's almost ready to play d5. Knight c4. Yeah, well played here by Enceladus. I don't know. I wanted to make b5 less attractive, but it is not a problem at all for black. I thought that maybe the a pawn would be vulnerable, but not really. Oh. He dropped the knight just like that. Maybe that was actually a mouse slip. Maybe he wanted to play rook bc8 and cover c4. Black is perfectly fine there. It looks like a very reasonable Najdorf type of position. Yeah, thanks for the game, Enceladus. I don't know. Okay, I want to check. This is such a long list. There was a request for a higher rated opponent. I can try. Knight 90. Actually, a new opponent. He has Nikola Tesla. Okay, in the name. I wonder who that is. If he's from Poland and born in 1990, I have some ideas who that could be, but anyway, we'll see what he has in store against the Dirty Harry. Yeah, Nikola Tesla. I remember I have to drop a little story. I have to do it. Like in summer last year, in like I think in June, a former student of mine, chess student of mine, he asked me, I mean, he said, you've been working in banking for years. You must have some kind of take on the stock market. What do you think about buying Tesla stock? And I told him at the time, you know, interesting. I mean, he drives a Tesla. I have to say that. Yeah, it's important. He's a fan of the brand. So, and I said, you know, this is very difficult for me to say because I wasn't involved in stocks at all, really not at all. So I have no real expertise, and I think just from my general take, it's really tough to evaluate this investment. Well, if you look at the stock markets, you know what happened. Tesla has it's a tenfold increase. A tenfold increase. I totally forgot that you can take that while telling my Tesla story. That is awful. That is totally stupid what I did here. Ah, I completely blundered that pawn. I thought I would still have the spin in play, and I don't have that. Yes. That is awful. That was a super stupid move. I actually don't know if we ever bought the Tesla stock. I didn't buy any. Okay. Knight c4 maybe coming. Yeah, I'm just a pawn down. It's the problem. We'll take e6 soonish. This opening with h5, that is the Dirty Harry Sicilian, that opening that I recently created a course on Chessable. So maybe here. I still have a little bit of compensation for that pawn, simply in the form of the bishop pair and the central influence that I have. So it's not so bad. He's constantly refusing to take on e6. Yeah, it looks good, yeah. He plays well, I believe. This one. I want to go e5. Knight e4 I can take. I'm blundering the pawn. What am I doing here? You can simply take that pawn. Hey, what's going on here? This was a relatively long day, but I can still see like half movers, yeah? Like one ply calculation is not should not be such a problem. Really. Ugh. And now this one. That's a pain. A real pain. Still just a pawn down. There's a question. Where are you from? Is that me? Probably me. I'm from Dienstlaken, Germany. This is close to the Rhine-Ruhr area. Like roughly like close to Duisburg, Essen, Oberhausen. Things like that. Or places like that. Things is not the right way to phrase that. Okay, so I get one rook off the board. And I get to play f4. Okay. Yeah, things are slightly improving. Somebody says not far away from the Dutch border. Yeah, that is a matter of definition for sure. So h3. So he's got one check here. It's not bad, actually. I'm getting a little something here, a little bit of activity. I mean, the pawn that he has, the extra pawn, is not really playing a role in the game. It is there, but it doesn't like control an important square or anything like that. I've gotten the pawn back also. How to do this? I can get to c6. 3. Yeah, I can take there. Okay. Now I can also check him now. I thought that would help. Maybe I'm wrong. No, that was stupid. He could have gone to e4. Now I'm winning this game, actually. That was very odd to win that game, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of refused to lose immediately, and then it continued and continued and continued. A bit strange, I mean, I played really badly. F5 was just a complete brain fart. That move is completely idiotic. It makes no sense at all. Yeah, it makes no sense at all. Bishop h6 is an idea to prevent him from castling. I simply didn't realize that he can take it. Yeah, thanks for the game, Knight 90. Okay, is there anybody else completely new here, maybe? Jake F. Yes. Also new, but I think I misclicked, right? No, I played Jake F. So let's do it. Maybe we get a Blumenfeld Gambit reversed. Yes, this is a nice one. With an extra move, this is really interesting. Whoa, he knows some theory about this. This is not something you see every day. e5. That gambit is really dangerous. It has been played by Yasser Seirawan, of all people. Mr. Pawn Grubber, who never sacrifices, but this sacrifice he played. No, Dr. Wolfius, I cannot play you. You're not a premium. So, okay, let's do this. Yeah, black played really well here. Interesting. Okay, I think I'm castling, yeah? Takes and the check. Is activity the most important thing in chess? That's an interesting question. It is definitely really important. Like the most important thing, I don't know, probably. But it is really, really important not to fall into a passive mindset. Bishop e4, I guess. Knight takes e5. It was maybe possible, yeah. Okay. Interesting. Dr. Wolfius has a question about the particular line in the red here opening. He could have played d3, yeah, sure. Yeah, not so nice here, this position. That line that you're referring to, knight d7, knight f3, d5, g3, knight d7, is fine. I know that is recommended by Alex Kolovich in his recent Chessable course. Yeah, I know d3 was an ugly move, but you have to make a move, and I didn't see anything else. Nigel Short once said, being able to make ugly moves is a sign of a good player. I don't know if this is true, but there's some truth to that. I'm not saying I'm a good player, but it is an important feature to understand when you actually have to make an ugly move, because everything else is worse. Okay, so let's take this one and this tempo move to take g6 and then ultimately play d4. Moonspell says all his moves are ugly. maybe I don't know. I don't know your moves. So d4, I just want to... I completely ignored that he can take with the knight and attack the rook. That is super stupid. Shame on me. And he has f3 of all moves. Yeah. Jeez. That was really bad. Like really bad. And I have no time. He will have a hard time actually to avoid the draw now. The thing is, wait, I can actually play for a win here. No! To f3, of course. Just giving away a full tempo in this position. And this could be too much. Friggin' mouse slips. Have to gamble this pre-move. Oh, now he somehow froze. Yeah, thanks for the game, Jake F. That was not a good game by me. Woo. Okay, now I think I can play one quick game for the end of the show. there any 3-minute challenge? Ah, yeah, that Eastwood challenge. That is a good one. So let's see Eastwood. Can we get the Dirty Harry on the board? I go c5 pre-move, which is kind of tempting. That's not so great. Okay. Yeah, let's play actively. Just try to pile up a little bit of pressure on c2. Okay, interesting. I'm not going to take it and activate his position. Doesn't look right to me. So put this on the C file. Against e5, he can take the f6 pawn. That is not so nice. Yeah, I'm not blundering the rook. It was a good try. It can easily happen in my games that I'm overlooking that the rook is hanging, but not this time. So I'm going to push the queen away. And now f6 is hanging. I think I have to cover it. It's a little bit unfortunate, but it's not about the pawn. It's about my king, the king position. So I don't think I can allow a capture. Takes, bishop d6. Knight c4, unfortunately. Okay. Go f5. Here we go. Attack, 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 attack. That looks dangerous. Now queen a6, threatening on a3 and on d3. Looks good, huh? My issue is my bishop here should play, my king is on e8. Is that a silly move? Maybe. I think I have to cover. Oh, that is a mouse slip. Yeah, that was just a mouse slip, but it does happen. It happens to all of us. Yeah. Thanks for the game, Eastwood. Rook c3 was more like a. Yeah, what's the name for that? Yeah, like. The Magnum did not fire, right? It was like having a bad round or whatever it is. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the show, this Banter Blitz show. I'm continuing, I think, on Monday, and I have 4 shows next week. Like a Monday, Tuesday, whatever. Yeah, a couple of shows. I think 4 in total. 2 German, 2 English. I hope you join me. I'll have more shows next week because I'm 3 weeks away after that. So I'll do a little bit more next week so that I got some in for September. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.